Let's turn to a more difficult topic, which is Turkey. Is international diplomacy working now? I mean, certainly your two countries felt like they might have been at the brink of war just a few weeks ago.
It was a very difficult summer. And I want to make it very clear, it was not Greece that engaged in any escalation or provocation. This is about delimiting our maritime zones. It's been a disagreement we've had with Turkey for many, many years, which we haven't been able to resolve. According to international law, if you have areas which have not been delimited, no party should engage in unilateral activity until the problem is resolved. It can be resolved in two ways. We either negotiate and find a negotiated solution, or you can take the case to an international court, in this case, the International Court of Justice in The Hague, and let the court decide on your behalf. Turkey didn't do either of the two. It sent an exploratory vessel in what we consider to be Greek exclusive economic zone, accompanied by around 20 warships, and also engaged in a rhetoric towards Greece, which was extremely belligerent and flat out hostile. Of course, we also mobilized our fleet, and we've reached a point, and I think it's good that the Turkish ship is back at port, and we've agreed in principle to begin the exploratory talks, which is essentially the first stage before you enter into a formal negotiation, to sit down and see whether we can find some sort of negotiated solution regarding this topic. But yes, international diplomacy has played a role. I think it was very, very clear to many international actors that this was not just a difference between Greece and Turkey, or for that matter, Turkey and Cyprus, because the same activity is continuing. Turkey continues the same activity. It takes it even a step further because it is actually illegally drilling within the Cypriot exclusive economic zone. But this is not just a difference between Turkey, Greece, and Cyprus. It's a difference between Turkey and Europe, because strategic European interests are at stake. And it's also a topic that should really concern the US, because, as you know, the US has expressed a renewed interest in the Eastern Mediterranean. It doesn't want, destabilizing forces in this part of the world. I think that this is why, Secretary Pompeo's visit to Greece is so important. And there's also sort of a new nexus of alliances being formed, the deal between Israel and the UAE. Greece has excellent relationships both with the UAE and with Israel. The trilaterals involving Israel, Cyprus, Greece, Egypt. There are lots of countries who think alike. Turkey chooses to move in a different direction. I wish it were not the case. I wish we could have a very constructive relationship with Turkey, not only as a neighbor, but also as a member of the European Union.
The Europeans historically are divided on lots of issues, and Turkey is certainly one where there are lots of interests at play. Do you feel like that has given Turkey more flexibility? Has that caused more problems for you, or do you think that the Europeans are in a good place from Greece's perspective on this issue right now?
I think the Europeans understand much better the situation than they did maybe 6 months ago. And that at some point that this is an issue of principles. If the sovereign rights of a member state is attacked, it's an attack on the European Union. But it's also a question of hard geopolitical power. If we argue that this is an area of critical interest for Europe, and if we don't just want to be a soft economic power, if we want to exercise more geopolitical influence, we should use the levers of our power, which in this case are economic, because we do have a lot of economic influence. And this understanding that we need to be more present and more forceful when articulating policies about our immediate neighborhood. This is not about something that's happening in the other side of the world.